Augustine of Hippo, the father of Western theology. Saint Augustine of Hippo, born in 354 in the Roman province of North Africa, is celebrated as one of the most important figures in the history of Christianity. His works have profoundly shaped Western thought, theology, and philosophy. Known for his intellectual rigor and spiritual depth, Augustine's legacy rests on his ability to synthesize faith and reason, offering a framework for understanding God, humanity, and the cosmos. Augustine's early life was marked by tension between Christian values and secular ambitions. His mother, Monica, was a devout Christian who prayed fervently for his conversion, while his father, Patricius, was a pagan. This dichotomy influenced Augustine's moral and intellectual struggles. He received a classical education, excelling in rhetoric, which later became a cornerstone of his theological writings. As a young man, Augustine was drawn to hedonism and ambition. He sought worldly success in the Roman Empire and indulged in sensual pleasures, fathering a son with a concubine. Despite his secular pursuits, Augustine was intellectually restless. His first major philosophical engagement was with Manichaeism, a dualistic religion that proposed a cosmic struggle between light and darkness. Augustine embraced its teachings for nearly a decade but eventually rejected them, finding their explanations of the world unsatisfactory. Disillusioned with Manichaeism, Augustine discovered Neoplatonism, a philosophical system rooted in the works of Plato and Plotinus. Neoplatonism offered Augustine a framework for understanding the immaterial nature of God and the origin of evil. Plotinus' idea that evil is not a substance but a lack of good deeply resonated with Augustine and became a central tenet of his theology. The turning point in Augustine's life came during his time in Milan, where he encountered Ambrose, the city's bishop. Ambrose's intellectual approach to Christianity challenged Augustine's perception of the faith as simplistic. Augustine began to see Christianity as both rational and profound, which led him to reconsider his skepticism. In 386, Augustine experienced a spiritual crisis that culminated in his conversion to Christianity. Retreating to a garden, he heard a child's voice chanting, "Take and read." Augustine opened the Bible to a passage in Romans that spoke of living a life of purity and devotion. This moment of divine inspiration led to his baptism by Ambrose in 387. After his conversion, Augustine returned to North Africa, where he pursued a monastic life before being ordained as a priest in 391. 4 years later, he was appointed Bishop of Hippo, a position he held for the rest of his life. As bishop, Augustine wrote extensively, addressing theological controversies such as Donatism, which questioned the validity of sacraments administered by sinful priests, and Pelagianism, which denied the necessity of divine grace for salvation. Among Augustine's many works, Confessions stands out as a masterpiece of spiritual autobiography. Written as a prayer to God, it recounts his journey from sin to salvation and reflects on themes of memory, time, and divine grace. Another monumental work, The City of God, contrasts the earthly city, driven by human pride, with the heavenly city, guided by divine love. Augustine's exploration of time in Confessions remains philosophically significant. He argued that time is not an independent entity but a construct of human perception. The past exists in memory, the future in anticipation, and the present in experience, a concept that continues to influence modern philosophy. In theology, Augustine emphasized the doctrine of grace, asserting that humans are incapable of achieving salvation without God's intervention. His teachings on original sin, free will, and predestination have shaped Christian doctrine and sparked debates for centuries. Augustine's influence extended beyond his lifetime. His ideas shaped medieval scholasticism, Reformation theology, and contemporary Christian thought. Despite controversies surrounding some of his views, his intellectual and spiritual legacy endures. Augustine passed away in 430 during the siege of Hippo by the Vandals. His writings remain a cornerstone of Christian theology, making him a pivotal figure in the history of Western thought.